The House voted this morning to pass its reconciliation bill. How did you vote?
Yeah, I voted yes to pass the bill. I thought it had a good necessary reforms to make sure that Medicaid is sustainable, to make sure too that we're doing the things necessary to protect our vulnerable populations and make sure that they have access to those benefits. The same too with making sure that we provide sustainability for this nation's energy. I'm on the Armed Services Committee, so making sure we're modernizing our military in face of the threats that we have, making sure too that our working families continue to enjoy, the lower tax rates, because if not, the average family in the 1st Congressional District would see a $2,300 increase in their federal tax bill if we didn't pass it. So it had a lot of good provisions in the bill.
You talk about protecting vulnerable people on Medicaid. How, in your mind, does this bill do that?
For me, this is personal. I am adopted at 8 months of age. The Children's Home Society of Virginia provided an opportunity for my birth mother to make sure that I had a great home, and I did. So for me, I know how important it is to make sure that expectant mothers have access to health care, that children have access, individuals with disabilities, seniors. And we know that as Medicaid continues in the years to come, it faces some challenges. So what this does is to make sure the resources are going to be there for those folks that rely on Medicaid.
I've seen estimates from the Commonwealth Institute and other organizations that this bill could remove Medicaid coverage from about 250,000 Virginians. What would you say to people who hear those estimates and may be concerned about losing coverage?
Well, I can assure folks that if you're in those vulnerable populations, your coverage is going to continue. There will be no interruptions there. The changes that are made is to make sure that there are work requirements for those folks that are able to work. And if you're not able to work, or if you have children at home or parents at home, or if you have a physical disability, you're not going to be required to go to work. But if you are able-bodied, you're going to be required to either go to work or to train to go to work or to volunteer. So we provide lots of opportunities there. And if you meet any of those criteria, then you are not going to be required to show that you go to work, and you'll still continue to receive Medicaid. For those folks that are here undocumented, this system is designed for U.S. citizens. So if you're here and undocumented, you will not receive Medicaid. Also, if you're deceased, just makes sense. We don't want deceased individuals on the Medicaid rolls. Those are resources that need to go for people in need. If you're dual enrolled, if you're in 2 states and unfortunately receiving benefits in both states, we're going to make sure that we take out that duality of those individuals that are receiving benefits. So it is really getting after waste, fraud, and abuse. It's also making sure, too, that the system is functioning for those people that it's designed for. Remember, this is designed for our vulnerable populations. And as we have more people that come onto the Medicaid rolls, we have to make sure that the resources are there as these individuals come onto the rolls.
What do you say to folks who argue that this is just adding barriers to folks who are in need of care?
Well, listen, this is an incredibly simple process. So it's not creating barriers. It's just making sure that we have very, very high accuracy in the rolls of people receiving Medicaid. We want to do that. We want to make sure that those dollars are there, and having that high level of accuracy there assures that those resources will be there, not only now, but in the future.
Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the VPM YouTube channel, hit the bell for notifications, and visit vpm.org for more in-depth coverage.